EA Sports. Tonight's matchup features two quarterbacks who will be trying to lead their team to victory. It's the Black Knights going up against the Explorers. With that, let's get you out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. They've got the call of this Week 9 matchup.
Thank you very much, Larry. EA Sports coverage of the NFL. The National Football League is here and on the air. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup set to go here between the London Black Knights and the Columbus Explorers. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Now they try the right side here. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackle was there right away for a loss of yardage.
Prescott now on second down. He's going to air one out. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third. And if this offense is going to flow today, certainly the running back will be a key piece.
Without a doubt, because they have their runner to not just do that, but to block, to catch, to help set a tone for their offense.
Let's go!
On third down, it's Prescott. Going right side here, and that's complete. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't it?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come.
He rifles one that's intercepted. And some room to work. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it second down. And the quarterback, he's got some big threats at wideout.
And they seem to get bigger all the time, don't they, Brandon? Every time I look out and watch a game, we're getting these bigger, more athletic, acrobatic receivers. We have some today.
And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And now back out comes the offense. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
5 wides in the game, 4 of them to the right side. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll get him down right at around the 11-yard line. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to make it third down and less than a yard. They'll give it to him right up the gut. They find some open field here. And he'll cut it out to the sideline. And he's brought down after a good gain.
In that situation on 3rd and inches, it's not a surprise that you're going to have big-time guys up front trying to stop things, so you've got to win the leverage game. And the offensive line did that. They got lower than the guys in front of them and pushed them aside. But even they had to be surprised at what the result was. That kind of yardage on 3rd and inches, that's not what you get on every play.
Throwing, Prescott. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Second down, Prescott. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And fortunately, he's able to reel it back in, but it's going to go down as a big loss here on the play.
Well, that was a big oops right there. But how about his ability to correct it? Loses the football, able to get it back himself.
Yeah, pounced right back on it, keeps possession. Third and long for Prescott. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his second of the game. Instead, fourth down. They bring their punter out there now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Yards on the return that time. And possession will switch here as this offense will come on deep in their own territory. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. He'll drop to throw. And man over the middle, and it's complete. Yeah, they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Out of the gun now on third down. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. They give him 27 yards on the third down conversion. Alongside the former defensive back, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Columbus. So the offense has it first and 10. They'll come out in the pistol. They'll set up to throw. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone. And they went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
5 wides in the game, 4 of them to the right side. And second and 10, he'll look to throw again. Dancing to his left. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They'll give it to him right up the gut. Shreds the tackle. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed.
Looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will have the football deep in enemy territory all the way at the 10-yard line. And a great spot to start this drive from here. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Flag comes in here for pass interference, but not on the defense, Charles. This is on the offense.
Occasionally, these officials will look out and watch and see that the offensive player can make a mistake.
Let's go.
Looking to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. That'll be a gain of 15 yards, and it'll be second and goal. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting to run. They're going to look to throw. Being chased out left. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. He'll look to throw. That's caught at the 2. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And we were scoreless up until this point in the second quarter. Now we finally have a little action.
Let's see where this action takes us. First quarter, no points at all. Now we've got our first score of the game. Well, does that signal that we're going to get more as we go along, or will it revert back to what we saw in the beginning of the game?
Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And they'll get it all the way out near midfield to the 45. A good pickup there, 22.
Well, Bud, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel set, 5th defensive back on the field. And they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. Prescott, he's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
A second down throw for Prescott. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Now this offense ready to head back out there. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. To see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put him through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Backing up. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position. Couldn't hold on. 3rd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
They'll look to throw here. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Malik Collins in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. Now this offense ready to take over again. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Prescott now on 2nd down. Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Watkins alone on the left side. On 3rd and 1, here's Prescott. And this is going to be incomplete. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. We'll come back here right after this. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. This is taken at the 18. A nice job on the return there. 16 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. And here now the offense heading back out there. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now with a game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know,
under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Now Prescott. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down.
Well, an incomplete pass certainly doesn't look like a good play. For the guy throwing it today, as many interceptions he's thrown, he's got to feel a sigh of relief that the ball actually hit the ground and didn't go in the other direction.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Let's go.
3rd and long for Prescott. Deep drop. He's going to look deep down the field. And it's caught. Touchdown. Brashad Perriman, his 4th touchdown on the year. And his guys have taken the lead. The fly route works for the TD Graham.
And you know what the receivers love to say? If we get even with the defender, we're leaving. And that's exactly what he did, all the way into the end zone. And then he was on the business end catching it once he got over the stripe.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And now back out comes the offense. This is Marshall. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Slips past him.
Where'd he go?
There he goes, left side. Touchdown. Keith Marshall, his first touchdown on the year. And his guys are going to retake the lead.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Already looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Second down following the incompletion. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
Here we go.
On second down, Prescott again. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
And the offense now will try to regroup after the sack on second down. And they're going to go soft on the corners. To throw is Prescott. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. And on now is the punter. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And that is incomplete. So the incomplete pass brings up second down. They'll put two receivers left, two to the right. He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Now, hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. And this offensive unit, they have to face a third down and 12 now. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Flush to his right. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play, and that's going to bring up a fourth down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's third down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
Now this offense ready to head back out there. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. A great read, and it's picked off. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. Field goal unit not out there. They want 6 before halftime. They'll throw now on the final play. Eluding the pressure right. This will be caught at about the 5. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, where Larry Ridley has our EA Sports halftime report. Larry? Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Now this offense ready to take over again. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll make it a second down. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic, and people want to put a little contact on it. Really well done.
They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
He'll drop to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That throw good for 4. It's second down. And they're going to speed things up here. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
They go play action here on first down. He'll buy some time right. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll be a second down.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks. But it doesn't matter what you call the position, it's who you put there. And there we saw completion.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Fresh set of downs here.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. Well, they try to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackle.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage. Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. And the offense readies for play number 10 of this series. Again, we'll see the pistol here. They'll set up a throw. Buying time to his left. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
You got to give some credit there, able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give him some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Escaping the pressure right. This will be caught at about the 6. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal.
He went full scale, loose, flexible, finding a way to catch the ball in some traffic for a key first down.
Yeah, really a nice job of adjusting to the ball in the air. Not the most accurate of throws, but able to adjust and make the grab. And this seemingly endless drive continues. They'll look to throw again. Rolling to his right. Hit as he throws there, incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down. Oh, how about this call down near the goal line? And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2, now third down. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Now back to throw. Fighting through.
This is why I've never been a big fan of trying to get too cute down here by the goal line. For every one time something like this works, it seems like it blows up about 10 times. And sure enough, they'll wind up losing yards here.
And Parkey's kick is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So it was a drive that seemed to go on for an eternity, forever. Our sponsors were probably saying, hey, we need to get our products in here on these commercials. But after all of that, 3 points as a result.
Yeah, it's hard to say who came out ahead there, isn't it? On one hand, you kept the defense out there a long time. But after controlling the ball for so long and just moving the ball incrementally down the field, a field goal seems like a bad result.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
A second down throw for Prescott. And his pass incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
Let's see if they can convert here on 3rd and 3. Watkins alone on the left side. Third and short yard. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this will be scooped up by the defense. And a first and goal coming up here inside the 10-yard line. And here now the offense heading back out there. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league...
and it's caught. Touchdown. Their big-bodied receiver. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And his guys capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. And he just did get those feet in there on the side of the end zone. Well done.
Probably the exact size foot necessary, because I think if he had another half size, that catch doesn't count. And he's able to get it in, and it counts for a touchdown.
Now after the touchdown, Drew Kaiser to boot it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll probably wish he reconsidered here. It'll cost him 10 yards now with a new rule as he's down at the 15-yard line. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it now, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
A first down throw for Prescott. And got his man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up second down. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Prescott. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, the pressure, the hits, the sacks have been coming at him all game long. I'm frankly surprised that they haven't found a solution yet to create more time for him to throw it or maybe change what they do on offense.
And that's one of the biggest differences in this game and why they're losing right now. Third and long for Prescott. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They bring the safety on the blitz, and he busts through to drop him for an 8-yard loss.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
And they'll send out their punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. He's going to field this at the 4. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now back out comes the offense. They'll come up now in the Wildcat package. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. The fourth quarter here, they got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Going up top. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time. Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
A nice gain of 21 yards.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because
that's caught inside the 20. He got 29 yards that time. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
And quickly, they get to the line. Second down, Prescott. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 1. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Gets his guy out in the flat.
And so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. Well, earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Here we go! Here we go!
They'll run for it with Henry. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Desperation time. Prescott on 4th. And that is incomplete. The 4th down pass play doesn't work out. And as a result, possession switches hands. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Flushed out right. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. And 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw again. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. They come up in an offset eye. They'll look to throw. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and tell him to go like turtle at this point. You just go ahead and play.
Muscles him off, and that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete. And on 2nd and 10 now. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Joey Bosa in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. On play action, they'll throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Here's Drew Kaiser now as he's on to kick it away.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Now this offense ready to head back out there. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a 4th down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going out offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on that one. If anything, they may have gained more confidence. Okay, they stopped us once. That's all right. Let's keep moving it. Make them do it again.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a game. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play. Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
The NFL teams last year a little under 50% on 4th down conversions. This is a bit tougher. 4th and 4. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And no, it's incomplete. The 4th down pass play doesn't work out. And the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. Now this offense ready to take over again. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone. In this situation, it's really tough to figure out how to defend because they have plenty of room to still take deep shots at the end zone as they just did there. Yet at the same time, you've got to be ready for the short throw. In this case, when you see the cue that they're going for the end zone, retreat and make sure you have a way to play forward, back towards the receiver, and have a chance to bat the ball away as they did there. When teams take shots at the end zone, you've got to defend it the same way you would defend the first down sticks. You defend the goal line exactly the same way. They can't cross that.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And here now the offense heading back out there. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on fourth, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold up.
But he trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Well, we'll see what his offense can do. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. So oftentimes you see defensive holding. Here it's offensive holding for the flag. I guess this is how you define backs against the wall. You have a long way to go. You're down by more than a score.
And the defense really isn't going to allow you to get a big play, but sometimes you just have to force it.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And they'll start this drive with very good field position. Now it looks like he'll throw here. Looking for the end zone. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. A great read, and it's picked off. And they get the football, but not much on the return here as he stopped at the 7-yard line. And now back out comes the offense. And last time, one-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Prescott now a desperation throw deep downfield. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. Incomplete pass on second down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on third.
Let's go. 1, 9.
Prescott from the gun on third. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Third down is a down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
Here we go. 1, 9. Let's round. Let's round. Let's round.
Desperation time. Prescott on fourth. Looking left side, and it's complete. And all the way down to the 36-yard line. What a decision to go for it on fourth from their own territory, and it pays off. 51 yards.
Let's go. 1, 9.
Prescott looks to throw on first. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Obviously a tough spot here. They need a lot of luck to win this game, but still a small chance.
They've got to make sure they get the ball to the sidelines, get out of bounds, preserve clock.
A second down throw for Prescott. And incomplete on the deep ball.
It appears that the pressure is affecting him today. Normally, he knows exactly when to get rid of the football, but today, because he's been hit a few times, he's getting rid of it a little bit too quickly.
On third down, it's Prescott. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Flush to his right. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. A great read, and it's picked off. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. They have a little bit of time left here, but this one not going to go their way.
And this is where, in this situation for me, you just go ahead and run out the clock, shake hands, congratulations, and move on. Because now, you're not going to make up for what's happened during the game in this last.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. 1st down and 10 now for the offensive group. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. 1st down, Prescott. And a quick throw here that's complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Let's go.
A 2nd down throw for Prescott. Eluding the pressure right. That is caught. And he will take it in for the touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver. His first touchdown on the year. And that interception key as it leads to the touchdown. And he's got it up and through. So now with little time remaining, they'll have this and maybe 1 more play. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a